Well, we were going to do this back during holiday ops, but the teaser trailer sucked for 2025, so let's do this now. But more 3D junkin stuff that happened. Yep. No more global chat box or text box. Way too toxic. Just reveal all the AFK even 90s camping somewhere in the bush, right? So yeah, no, we're not getting that back. Supposedly the biggest vehicle rebalance for 2.0. Alright. Big ass countdown timer. The Russians started at like 270-ish days. We started at 14. 2 weeks. I'll give like a half. Assembly shop, yeah, that happened. Vehicle teases, nope. Arcade mode, it happened, but did not get not the new ones, right? Not really. Tier 2s. I should have updated this. Tier 11s, you know what I mean, definitely. Tier 2s. Random events, yep. I don't know about achievement system actually giving you more rewards, right? Like achieving full research of some tech tree or something, right? You get a red tiger camo or something, right? Or like 100 kills or 300 kills with a patent. You get a red tiger stripe camo or golden camo for your 48 patent. That would be pretty crazy. Did not happen. Alright. Clan Wars, man. Oh, tier loot box. That happened. Assault artillery. Nope. Did not see that. Recon missions. Think of the past. No more recon missions. The original recon missions really carried. We have sandbox, or closed test. Bleh. That does nothing. They don't even listen. The UI suck. They not listen. Random features already by mods. I mean, they added a new feature with a playlist filter in the tab, which is pretty good, but other features, not really. The Russian server is getting a flip of the weather, like the skybox, with 1.37. No, that did not happen. One new map, fine, I'll put it, but one new map. Flamethrower did not happen. Marathon collabs, yep, okay, fine. Personal missions, yeah, we saw that, yep, okay. Did not mention any Frontline, Waffentrager, or Mirny 13 update, even though we got the repeat of the Last Stand mode. I'll give it like a half, I guess. I don't know. Upbeat poppy music in the background. There was one from the actual trailer, and some of the CCs are getting flagged for copyright. So I did not even watch this stuff, but whatever. So okay, it's not pop. It's more like rock, but whatever. That doesn't count. Onslaught. God, I fucking hate Onslaught. No new update to Onslaught. You get a new vehicle, but the system is the same, right? No return of the chevron. Actual rank mode stuff, but I hate Onslaught. I really do. Night and weather effects. Question mark. It's not even there. 3 new tech tree. We got the can opener. That's 1. 16 new tier 11s. It's like an extension, right? If you count like 8 vehicles per tier or per tech tree, then technically that's like 2 tech tree, but it's more like an extension. So it's also like tier 11 right here, so I'll give it a half. So out of all of these, yeah, some bingo, I guess. That's a bingo, but yeah, okay, fine. We're done with this one. So this video will compare the main difference between Alpha Patch and R Patch. So we already did the ranking or rate the tier list of the Alpha Patch, but I covered it back in like January or something. Yeah, I rate the Alpha Patch already, but you already see this page. Mom atrocious global chat. So let's quickly cover all the stuff in comparison. I'll put different coloring tiers. So we'll do trash tier first. Like tomato tier. Global chat, tomato tier. It doesn't matter, right? You just be more toxic. You just talk smack. I mean, there's not really that much use out of global chat for me, at least. So this is my opinion. Obviously, my tier list and other crap, but yeah, ours garage. It's not exactly the garage. It's the UI. I'll give it for the UI. Crap tier. It's just stupid. What the hell is these representing? I have no idea. I totally forget. I mean, I know the tier 11. The tier 11 is right here. But what the hell is this star-shaped symbol? Mid? That's a flamethrower. Oh, God, I've totally forgot what all the icons represent. That's a new garage. That's a different mode. So we'll do middle tier. Like 4 out of 5 or something. That's for different modes. Yeah, whatever. Garage. All modded to like minimalistic, right? With a black background. It's soothing to the eyes, but where the hell's the... They didn't even put the Battle of the... Oh, there it is. 666 for some reason. Alright, Battle of the CCs. But yeah, okay, fine, whatever. For ours, I would say operations room. It's more kind of 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, doesn't matter. Unless you get rewards from the service record tab, but I doubt it. So, I still don't know what the hell the starship symbol is. I'm getting freaking old. Let's see if I can find out from the actual page. Garage. So professional, right? I should have prepped for the actual goddamn video, but no. New audio? No, it's not the new audio. What the hell is it? Arcade mode? I presume no. It's likely global map stuff, or no, this is all in one. I have no idea. So I'll presume the same rating for whatever the hell this thing is, but okay. It's not as memorable as tier 11 for that matter, so I'll put it the same tier as what I originally put it at. I don't know. Yeah, okay, mid. Okay, it's all mid. Fine, I'll put it at mid. So let's use green for XVM rating. New map, obviously good. It's more the flamethrower and the assault artillery didn't really do that good. I mean, it's the flamethrower has way big of a cooldown and easily overheats, right? Assault artillery does nothing practically, and also the 𝗟𝗪𝘀 is not considered as assault artillery, even though they have the stuff. So it's more like a orangish of a. It's not. Well, fine, I'll put it green, but I mean, it's like their new tech tree, right? So, yeah, it's okay. Fine. But, yeah. Flamethrower, they have a whole new tech tree of American flamethrower. I did not see them making a big splash whatsoever. I mean, we could have it. We could still have all these vehicles in our server. Just remove the nozzle in the center of the barrel. And this will be a tier 10 heavy, tier 10 medium. More like a heavy. But it looks like a AAT-60 on steroids. Bigger with a 105, presumably, if you remove the nozzle. But, yeah, I mean, you could have a third American heavy tank line in the works, as well as the assault artillery, a third Russian tank destroyer line. But what the hell is the assault artillery? Yeah, you have to only access it from this thing, the rigmarole of resetting tech trees and regrinding. So that's what happened. But yeah, in order to get to the assault artilleries, you had to do a bunch of hoops as well. So just easily reclassify this thing as a tank destroyer. Similarly with the 𝗟𝗪𝘀, but so yeah, we could still have these vehicles, just rebranded, right? So yeah, they're fine, but they're not too crazy. And I will give the higher end for, I mean, it's more stuff to do for the third personal mission set, as well as the rigmarole, but it doesn't really compare to our version of the tier 11s. So originally, I really like how you have to do more stuff for the third personal mission set, right? But getting to a tier 11 is kind of redundant. When you have to go through the personal mission set or go through the rigmarole of resetting stuff, so it takes super long compared to our version. So yeah, repeat of the tier list for the original alpha patch, but for ours, let's see which is mid. PvE mode is mid. This is mid. I mean, that's not even yellow. It's a tutorial mode, right? I mean, you get used to the map, but it's kind of meh. It doesn't matter that much, right? New map is always good. New map is always welcome, even though it's only one. And I would say matchmaker is more important at this point. Definitely more important. So this is more important compared to new map, but I would like to see like 10 new maps out of this patch right away. They're not going to do that. They're not going to put all the recon mission maps into one. So rebalancing, especially for tier 11s. So I will see how this will work out. If tier 9s will see tier 11s. If the balancing of the, I mean, if all tier 9s are getting buffed for tier 11, fine, no question. But personal mission is more or less fine too. I mean, you get more stuff to do, right? It can become stale when you already research everything, right? So more stuff to do is always good. You get more rewards, which is good, right? You get more stuff, like more currency, more bonds, more garage slots. So yeah, more rewards is fine. You get something to do outside the mundane economy. Economy is not getting changed. So, and finally, obviously, our tier 11 is way better than Russian server tier 11. It's just way better than their version. No question. It's also cheaper, if you haven't noticed. So going back to the video, but it's right
Search
here.
it for XP and purchase it for credits. That's all
That
there is
nuts.
to it.
You see that? That is crazy. 325,000 XP for a tier 11 from a tier 10. You have already spent 1 million free XP to get to a tier 10 assembly shop vehicle. This is 3 of them. That is nothing to you, right? That is nothing. 3 tier 11s for the price of 1 tier 10 assembly shop. I mean, there's FOMO, but whatever, right? And you can start grinding the special field mods for tier 11s right away. That's nuts. Also, the price.
Use it for credit.
Only 7.5 million credits. That is nothing compared to 6.4 million for tier 10s. That's only one more million. That's nothing. I thought it was going to be like at least 10 or around like 12 million credits, right? When you jump from like tier 9 to tier 10, it's like 4 million credits to 6 million. So about 50% increase. Therefore, if you add 50% to tier 10s, then obviously it's about 10-ish, 11-ish, 12-ish million for a tier 11. Makes sense, but 7, that's cheap. So researching and the cost of a tier 11 in comparison to what you have to do on the RU server, rigmarole and hoops you have to jump through for this thing to get to a tier 11, it's night and day. It's no comparison. Now you have to get to stage 4 of whatever the hell this thing is, like researching or resetting an entire tech tree or tech line to get to like 4 times to get to a choice out of 3 tier 11s. And most of them are not even, well, 2 of them are not even that crazy. Like we already saw the BZT-70 on our server. And we got a loot box version of an MBTB. So the only crazy vehicle is this, right? The Object 279. That is bonkers when you think about it. But yeah, let's compare the actual tier 11s since we're on the topic. But let me pull up RU server. Where the hell is RU? Yeah, oh, this is the RU server. But American heavy tank, the MBTB. I mean, the original version is better than all. Better than our tier 11, better than a Russian server version at tier 10. But they nerfed the crap out of it. So our version, oh god, it's going to get confusing. with all these tabs and crap. So our tier 10 or tier 11 American Heavy is the T803. Looks like a looks like an MBT 70 except obese massive turret on top. It's also not the launcher. Originally it had the 152 similarly to the Sheridan, but yeah, obviously changed to a, I think they changed it to 105 before the 120. I may be wrong and misremembering, but this feels more generic than the MBT, but MBTB, but it should be more in line than the E5, right? Also, it follows the E5 with a massive cupola too. Goddamn, but it should have better mobility as well, but also rounded hull front from the looks of it. Big ass mantlet. Cupola still goddamn massive though. Yeah, it's always been the downside of American heavy tanks. Prior to the, well, before the buff, the original E5 with the buff is like 250 cupola and sometimes 270 based on the roundedness. It got nerfed, obviously, but this also looks like space armor on the turret cheeks. You're shooting at the cupola. Which one's better? I've seen enough of this, right? But playstyle wise, this is more in line with the T57 than the actual E5. I will have to give it to the XM803 based on the playstyle and the aesthetics, even though it's not realistic, right? You would expect the MBT 70, but alright. Now, oh crap. It's so convoluted how you use this system. I'm getting confused all the time. Alright. BZT-70. Compared to, it's a massive vehicle. It's a T95 with a turret. Compared to our BZ-79. Why does the 5A get shafted? That's one more. It's only from the 75, the BZ-75. You're not experiencing or getting experience from the 5A into this vehicle. It looks also more in line into a Type 69 a little bit, right? Based on the turret cheeks, from the front at least. It's more like a medium tank, but it has the rocket boosters. Also a big caliber gun from the looks of it. Like a 152 from the size. Compare this to, yeah, that's a 120, right? Slimmer. That's also 120, but double barrel 120, 120 autoloader, 130 presume, possibly 152. That could be 152 on the Russian, which is crazy. That's a 128. So yeah, the caliber for the Chinese vehicle is presumably 130 at least, but it's not as crazy as a 180 on this thing. Which one's cooler? Both are cool. This one's cooler, no question. This one's cooler. This is more modern when you look at it, like a Type 69. But yeah, this is cooler. This is stupider. Especially with the original high explosive rounds. Yeah, they changed that obviously, but based on aesthetics, this is more terrifying. When you're fighting against this thing, you know, like M47, M46 pad, unless you're playing tier 9 versus tier 11. Yeah, this is scarier looking. I mean, it's slower, obviously, compared to this thing, but yeah, I'll give it to BZT-70. Fine. Alright, moving back. And this beats whatever the hell, the KR whatever the hell, no question. Historic, realistic, scary of a vehicle compared to whatever the hell this thing is, right? KR1. It's like a WZ-114 on a contender-esque of a chassis, of a pike hull front, slightly. Also kind of like the Udarni a little bit. IS-7 proto. No comparison. No comparison. This is so much better. No question. The intimidation factor is big deal with this thing than this thing, right? Easily shoot the lower plate based on what you would see or the commander cupola. But yeah, this is generic when you feel like you're seeing a lot of IS-7s and IS-7 protos. But this is iconic, no question. 279 easily win this. And finally, of course, we have to compare the actual German tier 11, the Mausekonig, versus the 𝗥𝗨'𝘀. The Taschenratte, okay, the 𝗥𝗨'𝘀. This is a mouse with a rounded hull front and a smaller turret cheek that's sloped. Compare this to the Mausekonig. No question. Mouse King wins. This looks more like the rat than the actual 𝗥𝗨'𝘀, right? The P1000 rat has 2 barrels. You have 1 barrel of presumably 128. Maybe 152. Maybe. Also, you should have used the coax 75 on the actual mouse. It's not a special ability, right? There's 2 coax, never mind, I guess. You can use double 75s. There's 2 75s on this thing. Alright, fine. But, yeah, you cannot beat this thing. The Mausekonig is so cool. It's stupid. It's super heavy of a bygone era. And one ATGM just instantly melt the front of the upper plate. But it has space armor. Hey. So yeah, a Mausekonig is so much cooler. Well, there you go, folks. In comparison, R2.0 feels about the same as the alpha patch, right? It's a big deal, but when they actually put out the matchmaker stuff, along with the tier 11s that you don't have to grind, and presumably a better personal mission set than the difficulty of rigmaroles with the thing you have to do for Russian tier 11s. I think R2.0 is a little bit better, right? It doesn't address stuff like the economy. I've been ranting about economy for a while, but there's no penalty to bots. There's no penalty to AFKers. I mean, to people who just squander tier 10s, tier 11s when they're top tier. So the rigmarole you have to do, the grind fest you have to do, like 4 sets of a tech line reroll or tech tree resetting for tier 11. That's crazy, right? You get one, you get a, if you reset from like tier 5 or tier 6, I have no idea, but okay. They have a video on it, I presume, or at least some info. Starts at tier 5. So you reset starting at tier 5 or tier 6, one of which, but you have to research all the vehicles within one line. Like restart from like a KV-1S all the way to an IS-7 to get to a object 279. So you have to do that 4 times for the tier 11. Do that once for a premium tier 8. The Vickers, we got it at tier 10, but whatever, arbitrary stats. You have to do that 4 times. You unlock the assault artillery after 2 times. This is a grind fest. Do that 10 times for 2 out of 3 tier 11s. Yeah, our implementation of tier 11s is way better. No question. And it's also cheaper, right? It's a lot cheaper. Hell, it's 7 million credits and 330-ish thousand free XP. That's nothing when you have like 1 million assembly shop. 1 million free XP assembly. That's nothing. That's a third for a tier 11. That's, yeah, our implementation of tier 11s are better than the Russians. No question. The only upside about the Russian server is their speed and capability. They move right on to the 盛 after this patch, right? It doesn't take them like, we'll have to pat ourselves on the back and circle jerk based on how good of a job we think we did, right? They move right on to the 盛 right after that patch in like February or March, which is crazy when you think about it, right? Their speed and mobility with the stuff introducing a, you know, UN-esque of a branch or universal branch of vehicles, right? With the Merkava. That is crazy speed when you think about it, right? Like, they do stuff real quick on the Russian server. They don't wait. I mean, if they fuck up, if they mess up, they just add a micro patch to buff out all the stuff, right? It's not like Wargaming being super timid about all this stuff. That is nuts when you think about it. That is real nuts. Another example is Storm Tiger. We don't have that. Another example is they put more stuff into just regular update. They don't have to do a big ass update. This is, we already covered this, the 1.37. But if you scroll down, yeah, they added more stuff for the Waffen trigger. Now it's a IS-7 instead of a Leopard 1 with double barrel. Leopard 1 doesn't carry too hard. We need 2 Waffen triggers. One's an IS-7. So what is interesting is, like, small stuff that I like garbage doesn't matter stuff that I like, is this thing. They added a lighting difference. So basically there's 2 versions of the map. One's a daytime, one's a pseudo nighttime. All the players gets a flip, a choice of different lighting based off of the matchmaker. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It doesn't matter too much. But what the hell is that beeping? It doesn't matter too much. Like, 2 different versions of the same map. We have 2 different versions of Ruinberg. We have 2 different versions of Himmelsdorf. One's a winter version, one's a normal version. Why can't we have different versions of the same map? I saw, like, multiple skybox difference with only 100 megabytes of change. Why can't all the players? I mean, yeah, you would say all the players will have to download more stuff for the stuff. The skybox is only 100 megabytes. It's not that big of a deal when your actual game directory is 100 gigabytes, right? So I don't understand why small stuff is not incorporated, right? They get better scaling based off of the icons. We don't even have that. So if you're like a uncle like me, old unk, you can actually change the scaling of the stuff. So it's, oh, this is the actual server. It's not the common test, but you can actually scale the actual UI to a bigger font if you have bad eyes, right? You can actually scale this to like 1.5 or 2 times the actual size. We don't have that. Also, their common test is on cooldown, but okay. So we don't even have scaling. Yeah, interface scaling unless you're using a mod. This is dumb. So you cannot increase the size of the scale. You can't even do that. So small stuff. They're constantly doing small stuff. I mean, yeah, their balancing is off the charts. Their loot box is out of control. They're the first ones to introduce the tier loot box. So the commies are better at capitalism than we are. But at least they're introducing stuff at a very rapid pace. And if anything's broken or out of balance, they'll quickly micropatch that in. I don't understand why Wargaming is so timid about putting out new stuff, right? If it's broken, just fix it. But no, they're super timid. They're even timid about releasing this patch. And they don't even listen to our demands. Like, the UI suck ass. But no, they don't give a shit, right? They don't really care. So the speed, I mean, when you also think about it, you can just freelance all the mod makers on your mod hub, right? Just give them some money, right? You have billions of dollars. Give them some pocket change compared to like for you, right? Like beans for you. But no, like for example, realistic gun sounds. We'll put gun sounds. One of the most popular mods too. Gun sounds. Gnome Father and Zorg, continuation of Gnome Father's Zorgane's gun sound by Fastest Classic. I've been using this for like 10 years. I've been using the original mod for like 12. One of the best mods, no question. I'll die on this hill. This is one of the best mods. You need to have it for a better experience. but why can't you just pay them, right? You don't have to do your rigmarole of, oh, realistic sound from Bovington and Tank Fest. You have so much resource that people will do it for free, but if you just give them some incentive, some funding, you will make so much more progress. Not even kidding. That is crazy. Also, I want to see the actual Russian trailer for more stuff they had. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual, but whatever. I think I put it up on... Here it is. Let's take a look. We'll speed this up.
Привет, танкисты. Ну что, как вам обновление 1.36.1? Пока вы отрываетесь в рандоме с новым матчмейкером, уменьшенным разбросом, артой без оглушения и другими веселыми параметрами, мы расскажем, что будет после. А именно, что нового появится в мире танков до конца 2026 года. И не на один патч, а надолго. Это не все нововведения, которые будут в игре, но самые важные из них, и основанные в первую очередь на ваших предложениях.
Are they changing the crew skills after all this time? No, they still have firefighter for everybody.
Итак, встречайте. Дорожная карта мира танков.
Oh, this is their roadmap. They actually tell you what the hell they're doing, as
Одна
opposed
из
to
самых важных тем
wargaming.
для игроков — матчмейкер. Уже
Matchmaker change, so they're still doing stuff, right? Yeah, they seems more sporadic with smaller update, but at least they're doing a lot of stuff. You don't have to have a big chunk, a big update to get everybody back, right? They're still doing a lot of stuff.
в ближайшие месяцы мы проведем доработки, которые позволят более тонко настраивать подбор техники по ролям. Балансировщик будет стремиться делать еще более...
It's basically our matchmaker change too, so they're still doing stuff, which is crazy.
зеркальные составы команд. Ведь Минотавр грилю не товарищ. Другое усовершенствование коснется подбора карт в случайных боях. Внедряемый нами антиповторитель карт фактически исключит ситуации, когда за одну игровую сеть...
If you've been getting the same map in succession or series, you'll get a different map. Why can't we have that, right? Play on freaking Himmelsdorf with your artillery for like 10 out of 15 matches. It's stupid, right? So, yeah, at least they have a stale mode reset. You're not getting the same match or same map all the time. That's good. I mean, when you think about it, that's very good.
Ты трижды побывал в Химках и ни разу в Париже. Даешь широкую географию.
Yeah, they diversify your map choice. They have more maps also on rotation. What happened to the map rebalance? I mean, if you're not introducing new maps, why not have more maps? Or like more diversity with your old maps, right? You're not playing on the same map for like 7 out of 10 matches. It's a small stuff that makes you think wargaming is kind of incompetent when comparing to Lesta. Like, this is so small stuff.
Боев. В начале грядущей осени вас ждут давно полюбившиеся сражения в формате 1 против 6 в событии 𝗥𝗨'𝘀 Реванш. Наши геймдизайнеры уже создали нового босса. Он получился устрашающий и очень большой. Песка с деда насыпалось столько, что хватило на целую карту. 𝗥𝗨'𝘀 теперь и в пустыне. Продолжается активная работа по перебалансировке САУ. Главная новость.
I wonder if wargaming has the galls to touch artillery and the stun effects. I mean, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to stun effects, right? But artillery has long been controversial. I won't deny that, but a good artillery makes a little bit of a difference compared to a good tank destroyer camping in the back. Supposedly. But I started playing World of Tanks with artillery because my PC sucks. You don't have to have that much of a graphics with artillery. And I'll defend artillery as a devil's advocate. But I don't think the wargaming has the balls to touch artillery and the stun duration. I like the fact that Lesta is at least addressing the issue. And if the issue doesn't really work out well, they will revert. Or they will change more of the stuff. They will tweak it. Wargaming is way too timid on touching stuff like this, right? We're going to introduce artillery change. If you don't like it, we'll change it back. They're not going to do that. And if we do have a big update, everything's broken. Like the rollout of the DBV 152. It's just like, oh, oops, some of you guys didn't get the 3D style. We'll give you a sorry 3D style. So yeah, Wargaming is way too timid. Based on their funding, they're way too timid.
Мы решили насовсем убрать механику оглушения из игры. Да-да, вы все правильно расслышали. Стана в танках не будет. В текущей версии обновления мы уже временно отключили оглушение. Но вернем его в обновлении 1.37, поскольку нам потребуется некоторое время на переработку личных боевых задач.
See, they'll have some time. They'll return the stun later, but let's see how the non-stun will affect the meta and the gameplay, right? So they're still testing this stuff. They don't have to rely on a crappy common test where nobody plays and everybody spam gold shell and nobody plays middle tier, everybody plays tier 10s. So they're still constantly testing with the live server. And yet Wargaming is way too timid to do anything like that. Just, yeah, disappointing.
А главное, на улучшение других ТТХ артиллерии. Каких именно, покажут полевые испытания. Окончательно выключим оглушение в конце 2025 года, вместе с релизом обновленных САУ. На конец октября намечена громкая премьера для тех, кто соскучился по мистической хэллоуинской атмосфере. Событие «Разлом». Новый ПВЕ-режим с необычными механиками, мрачной картой и опасным главным злодеем, немецким, сверхтяжелым танком «Ратте».
What the fuck? It's a P1000 rat? The actual rat? With a face coming out of the freaking thunderstorm clouds. What the hell is this? Holy crap, it's massive. But then again, it's like a little medium tank. It's like the 40 TP or something, but... Or 25 TP. Jesus, this thing is it's an actual rat. It's not like a Sherman, like a super Sherman. Freaking triple tracks. Oh.
Кажется, двухстволки — тренд этого года. Да, и все это под эпичную музыку а-ля 𝗟𝗲𝘀. Ну, по крайней мере, именно так мы поставили задачу нашим звукорежиссерам. Последнее из новшеств, тест которых запланирован на 2025 год, связано с использованием специальных снарядов. Сейчас мы наблюдаем интересную статистику. Игроки с более высоким процентом побед гораздо чаще используют голду...
What the hell is this? Ammo change? Holy crap. Are they actually revamping Gold Shell? That is crazy. They have the balls. Giga Chads. They have the balls to change Gold Shell. That is crazy. It's like Wargaming is taking one step and Lesta is taking 2 steps or 3. Even if it backtracks them like 1 step, right? The speed of Lesta is crazy. Even though they have constant loot box. Even though they have garbage balancing in some case and scenarios. But the speed and maneuverability and the mobility of the Lesta is crazy when you think about it. They have the galls to touch Gold Shell. Wargaming is super timid, scared in a corner, doesn't even care about Gold Shell. Gold Shell sucks in my opinion, but fine, whatever. It just basically negates any heavy tank you play, any tank destroyer you play, but still. Yeah, they're talking about win % ratio if you're using Gold Shell. That is crazy.
Новые снаряды. Есть и те, кто решил не утруждать себя изучением зон пробития и катает только на голде.
Yeah, don't study penetration, just ride the gold. That's exactly what a lot of people do. Backchat spams 30 rounds of Gold Shell. Now it's like 40 or 50, but they don't care. They fucking spam all gold all the time.
Изменений — уменьшить использование спецснарядов в боях. Это повысит роль брони, сократит количество турбобоев и просто создаст более равный...
Reduce the number of turbos. That's one way of changing. Yeah, like 15-0, 15-1, 15-2 match. Also economy would be also good, but Gold Shell spam. Just no armor, just everybody YOLO rush. Holy crap, just... I mean, some aspects of Lesta is questionable, but you cannot deny their mobility with this stuff. It feels like it's a new game, right? They're constantly updating. Whereas Wargaming just stuck in place, giving out loot box and stuff.
Условия для всех. Экспериментировать начнем в рамках полевых испытаний в 4-м квартале этого года, а воплощать в жизнь уже в 2026.
They even have stuff for 2026 on preview. The video is not even halfway over. Oh, it's about halfway over, but still.
В начале 2026 года вас ждет обновленная линия фронта.
Frontline, okay.
Появятся индивидуальные боевые задачи. А на полях сражений вы сможете активировать новые объекты поддержки. В обороне это доты и огнеметы.
It's a panzer term. It's a panzer term. It's a panzer term. Smaller turrets on the support object in defense. You can activate a defensive turret. So they're still updating Frontline. Frontline is the most popular separate game mode.
Это доты и огнеметные точки.
Machine gun
В нападении РСЗО.
So they're reusing assets from Art of War or Art of Strategy, whatever the hell that thing is called, back in 2022, right? With the pillboxes, with the rocket launchers and recon towers and stuff, but at least they're doing stuff like this. Just like, this year we get the repeats of the 3 same old maps on Frontline, yay, and the same 3 different scenarios, the regular one, the Twist of Fate, and there's just faster cooldown, yay, stale.
И дирижабль. Ковров репортинг. А весной и осенью 26 года...
𝗥𝗨'𝘀 airship! What the hell's 𝗥𝗨'𝘀 airship doing? And you can call you a 𝗥𝗨'𝘀 airship to drop bombs? No shit! Paint a shark face in front of the blimp, please. Please!
Ковров репортинг. А весной и осенью 26 года вас ждет преображение и 2 других популярных событий — режимов на Марс и Ваффентрагер. Не прекращаются работы и в части создания новых локаций. В следующем году мир танков станет больше еще на 1 квадратный километр. Релиз карты намечен на 1-й квартал. Кстати, насчет слотов для исключения. Пока что их останется 2. Пока что. В первой половине следующего года мы продолжим...
They're still introducing new maps, from the looks of it. That's a new map. Oh god, come on. Jesus, Lesta is leaving wargaming in the dust when it comes to speed. No question. Holy crap.
Насчет слотов для исключения. Пока что их останется 2. Пока что. В первой половине следующего года мы продолжим работать над улучшением интерфейсов в ангаре. Для начала займемся внешним видом внешнего вида. Сейчас, пока вы ищете нужный 2D стиль, у вас могут закончиться время, нервы и действие боевых резервов. Обновленный раздел кастомизации станет удобным и понятным. А еще мы планируем сделать элементы внешнего вида ресурсом с возможностью обмена. Интересно, что теперь будут писать в комментах? Элементы внешнего вида ресурсом с возможностью 2D стиль у вас могут закончиться.
Oh, you run out of personal reserves while looking for the 2D style you want. There's no filter, by the way, for your favorite 2D style. So...
время, нервы и действие боевых резервов. Обновленный раздел кастомизации станет удобным и понятным. А еще мы планируем сделать элементы внешнего вида ресурсом с возможностью обмена. Интересно, что теперь будут писать в комментах?
Also, you can use personal reserve as a currency into like 2D style or something like that, but there's just experimenting with stuff. So personal reserves will be paused if you're in the customization hangar or menu. It's the small stuff. Why don't we have the small stuff? What the fuck?
В том же 2026 году финальные очертания обретет экипаж. Вы могли заметить, что в патче 1.36 мы уже внесли кое-какие изменения в его интерфейс. Другая проблема экипажа связана с навыками. Они менялись так давно, что этого не помнят даже те, кто прокачал 𝗟𝗲𝘀, а некоторые из перков потеряли свою актуальность.
Trash perks at the bottom and most pick perks on the top. Are they going to do our revamp with Crew 2.0? That's a big question too.
Еще до релиза. И редко используется игроками. К концу следующего года мы представим вам переработанный экипаж с обновленным дизайном и актуализированной системой навыков. И напоследок, еще немного о балансе и ваших отзывах. 2 проблемы, над решением которых мы постоянно работаем. Это дисбаланс побед и поражений на некоторых картах, а также неактуальные ТТХ у танков. И нам хочется, чтобы у вас была возможность поучаствовать в этом процессе. В ближайшее время мы запустим открытые голосования. И именно вы решите, какие карты отправятся в переработку во втором и четвертом кварталах 2026 года. И вернуться в игру в обновленном виде еще примерно через полгода.
At least the community has a say by voting on which map everybody think needs to be reworked. And the devs will focus on that map, since everybody voted for it. We get surveys about collaborations. Jesus!
Аналогично поступим и с ребалансом веток. Просто следите за новостями. Голосуйте и будьте уверены, что ваши любимые карты и танки вскоре станут лучше. Это была дорожная карта, которую мы постарались составить, основываясь на вашей обратной связи, предложениях, советах и мнениях. Надеемся, что все запланированные изменения сделают нашу игру только лучше. Спасибо вам и удачных боев, танкисты!
The biggest takeaway from this video, and the biggest disappointment you will feel, is that Lesta, at least on paper, or by the appearance of it, is listening to the community and actually participating in trials and error with the community, with the different stuff that they think will help out the game. Whereas Wargaming focus more on loot box and monetization, right? They don't care about what your feedback. Oh, the UI for 2.0 sucks. Yeah, we don't care. Let's just roll that out. Yeah. So basically, it's like talking to a brick wall and actually have a dev that actually respond. So prove me wrong, Wargaming. Prove me wrong. Have the balls to change 𝗟𝗪'𝘀. Do you have the balls to do that, right? When whales are just spamming 𝗟𝗪'𝘀 in tier 10s. Yeah, turbo games are spamming 𝗟𝗪'𝘀 in tier 6s, like a Type 64. I can rant about that all day. Spamming 𝗟𝗪'𝘀 at E25, where your armor doesn't matter, when he already has preferential matchmaking. Do they have the balls to do that? This video pisses me off on how good the mobilization of Lesta is compared to Wargaming. I didn't even watch this video initially. I mean, yeah, there's obviously downvotes, but also Lesta Studio doesn't have some of the stuff we have, to be all fair. Yeah, we have Crew 2.0, they don't have it, right? But we have better modernization or just progression of the tier 11s. That seems a little bit better than Russian server version. But the mobility of the Russians is crazy, right? They're moving at a pace that we cannot even comprehend. Wargaming doesn't have the balls to talk about 𝗟𝗪'𝘀 rebalance. That is crazy. They also have the list of the stuff they're going to do. When Wargaming doesn't have the balls to show you this 2.0 is coming out. That's the difference. That's what pisses me off. Is that Lesta has 270 days of a countdown timer ready, and they know what the hell they're going to do. Whereas Wargaming doesn't know jack shit, and too afraid to tell us anything. Based on the previous goddamn teaser trailer, I'm crashing out. I'm getting heated, right? They're adding more stuff to Mirny. They're adding more stuff to Frontline. Where the hell's the Frontline one? With the pillbox, right? You already have the assets from Art of War or Art of Strategy or whatever the hell that thing is called. Where the hell's the Frontline stuff? But yeah, there it is. Kirov airship reporting dropping bombs. They have a tier 6 version of Frontline, I believe, or at least tier 6 version of rank mode, like our rank light, right? Or onslaught light, whatever. But it just infuriates me on how the stuff are progressing on Lesta in comparison to our server. One's super timid. One just doesn't give a shit and they will patch the stuff up if they trip, right? One is willing to take risk and just pick themselves back up if they fail. And on the other hand, one doesn't even move a step and just base camp like a bitch. I'm crashing out. Well, there you go, folks. It's fucking 50 minutes. I wasn't expecting this video to be that big of an issue. I just like, it's a new video on the Russian preview site. We'll put it at the end of the video. I'll put it at the end of the video, and we can watch it for fun in comparison. But no!
И дирижабль.
That is crazy.
Тиров репортит.
That is crazy.
А весной
That
и
is
осенью
crazy when you think about
26
the speed
года
and
вас ждет
maneuverability of the
преображение и
Russians
двух
compared
других
to our
популярных...
server. That's nuts. So there you go, folks. But as always, I'll see you guys next time. But right now, it's take what you can get out of wargaming, right? Take what you can get, but this really surprised me. This really surprised me. Gold shell change. That really... I wasn't expecting Russian server having the balls to touch it. But I obviously wasn't expecting wargaming having the balls to touch it. But the Russians, they have the incentive of actually calculating win % chance based off of gold shell usage, and willing to take steps to address it to prevent turbo games. Yeah, 15-2, everybody loves that. It's not even good on the winning team, right? You'll finish your daily mission, whatever, but still, you didn't do shit, and you wasted your 2x XP. So this is the most surprising out of the bunch, but still, like, new maps on the rise too, right? And they still have the tenacity to tell you about the stuff before. The Sheva sequence, you cannot have the same map over and over. Why can't we have that? That is, I'm crashing out. All right, I'm done. So it turns from a regular comparison video to a rant video. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, Jesus.
思い出せる世に残された目印ああえいやああふわああえいやまるでおとぎの話終わり迎えた証私を変えた出会い100分の1の旅路